Micky Mantle, born October 20th, 1931, died in 1995. He was 63 at the time of
Yeah,
his death.
yeah,
And
yeah. Young
Oklahoma
man.
born, died in Texas.
Yeah. Just say one more thing about him, one more sad thing, but he said this: I've let everybody down, one way or the other. I know that there is something in me that is not fulfilled, or something. I don't know what it is. And he says, I can't explain it. And he had regrets about not being a good father. I mean, he wasn't close to his kids until they got old enough to go out drinking with him. His wife and him separated the last 6 years of their marriage. He was, drinking, womanizer. Again, a lot of sadness in his life, a lot of insecurity, believe it or not, which is kind of interesting. Felt lonely. Often he would have panic attacks, later in his life, mostly. So very interesting, very sad in a lot of ways. And it comes down to this: is if we exchange the glory of God for images, right, we start to seek something else instead of seeking God, because we're all worshipers. We're innately going to worship something or someone else. It tells us in Romans 18-32, it unpacks it, right? It tells us that God has revealed himself to all people through creation, and in Romans 2:15 through conscience. But unbelievers suppress the truth about God and unrighteousness, like a giant spring, sort of, and they press it down. They don't want to acknowledge God. They don't want to submit to him. They want to go their own way. And, as it says in 1 John, the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life gets them. And I think in Micky, we saw probably all of that in a lot of ways, right? The lust of the eyes and the lust of the flesh and the pride of life. But that can't fill the human soul, They can't fill that which only God can fill, So, but
With all
the reality,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean.
No.
This is so good. I did not know any of this really about Micky, and so with all this loneliness and all these things, what were his addictive behaviors that he tried to fix some of this with? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, he would drink a lot. So it was told that he would go out and have 3 or 4 bottles of wine in the course of an afternoon. And he said sometimes he would need 6 to 8 vodka martinis before he could feel comfortable at a party.
Wow.
He had something he called the breakfast of champions, a big glass filled with a shot or more brandy, Kahlua, and cream. And that's kind of the way he was living. And at the end of his life, he did get liver cancer, which is, again, very sad. And again, 2 of his sons died very young as well. I think some of it could be attributed to their drinking as well. Again, his wife ended up contracting Alzheimer's. She died. And it's just, again, a sad story. In fact, but we're going to get, there's a happy ending.
Yeah.
I like stories, sad stories that have a happy ending.
Yeah, and me too.